And indeed, I will confirm that Arturo Las Cañas retracted and changed his testimony. Hindi po ako nag-file ng perjury. Gusto ko lang i-correct yun.
Kamay na bakal ang pinairal. Kapag mga ordinaryong mahirap na mamayan, ang pinapairal ninyo dyan sa law enforcement. Pero kapag makapangyarihan ang mga tao, you treat them with kids' gloves.
Senator Lacson is recognized to give a manifestation.
Thank you for allowing me to interject. Maski hindi naayos sa unan yung pahayag kanina. Kasi ang worry ko, pag inupuraw ako doon, interpolate ako ni Senator Lapid. So, having said that, anyway, levity aside, Mr. Presiding Officer, basahin ko lang yung portion ng committee report kasi I chaired the Committee on Public Order when we investigated the EJK. And indeed, I will confirm that Arturo Las Cañas retracted and changed his testimony. No? After several hearings, nag-retract siya. But hindi po ako nag-file ng perjury. Gusto ko lang i-correct yun. Ang recommendation po sa Roman numeral number 6, recommendations, part po ito ng committee report. Ano? In view of the foregoing, the committee recommends the following. 1, amendment of the revised penal code to increase the penalty for the crime of perjury. Yun po yung context na dahil committee report ito, nagre-recommend ako na i-amend yung revised penal code, particularly sa krimen ng perjury. Pero gusto ko lang i-correct na hindi ako nag-file ng perjury. Thank you.
The manifestation is noted. Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
But you're at liberty to disclose who searched for that Las Cañas document.
Ito nga po, yung pong dokumento, we got hold of it. Sabi nga po natin, meron po kami mga tinatawag na amin pong mga informants at mga source. It was provided to us. Nung ibinigay po sa amin to, hindi naman po ibig sabihin ay amin kaagad itong paniniwalaan. At tama po kayo.
Okay. That's okay. I can ask subsequent questions regarding to that. So actually, my question is, after you had obtained this document, did you subpoena Las Cañas to verify the contents of those documents?
Hindi po, sapagkat he is nowhere to be found.
That's enough. So without verification, you decided to believe the contents of the document that you obtained?
Again, ibabalik ko po ron sa 5 nating factors. Isinama lamang namin po ito, isa dun sa mga factors na sinasabi po natin, yung pattern of violence na tinatawag. At doon po, doon sa paragraph 270, sinasabi nga po na may kinalaman sa extrajudicial killing si dating Mayor Sara Duterte at in fact, sabi pa nga niya, huwag nyo nang barilin, kidnapin nyo na lang. Pero bago po kami dumating doon sa punto na gamitin yun, tingnan na po namin yan.
Alright. Sorry to interrupt you. So the short answer to my question is yes.
Pakiulit po yung
Alright.
tanong ninyo.
The question is, did you decide to believe the contents of the document without verifying it with Las Cañas?
Yun nga po yung sagot po ko po, hindi
Yes.
kaagad. Kaya po ikinikwento ko nga kung paano po namin nagamit yun.
Alright.
So hindi po kaagad namin pinaniwalaan.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I just manifest that the defense is actually misleading already the witness. He kept on raising the question, did you believe right away? When as a matter of fact, the witness is explaining.
Your Honor, I never meant sorry.
Counsel,
with all due
kindly
respect.
let the lead prosecutor finish.
The witness has been saying that he did a lot of things after receiving the affidavit of Las Cañas to the extent of going over the 5 factors that he testified to yesterday. But after that first question, so that means yes. The defense said yes. To his question, did you believe to that right away, to that affidavit? The position of the witness, Your Honor, is no.
Short
Because-
rejoinder, Your Honor.
Actually asked and answered by the witness. That is his response, counsel for respondent, to your question.
Yeah.
Move on, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. We are satisfied with that answer. But another follow-up question. So without verifying it, sorry.
That's misleading, Your Honor.
Allow him
Sir,
to finish the
ju-
question,
just-
counsel.
just on
What
the
is the
point-
pleasure of Senator Judge Cayetano?
Just on your ruling, may be clarified because the question was, pinaniniwalaan mo ba? Ang sagot niya, hindi ka agad. So counsel was asking for yes or no. I just want to be clarified. Hindi pinaniniwalaan agad, does that mean afterwards pinaniniwalaan mo na or never mo pinaniniwalaan? Just so that the record is clear. Just that clarification.
There should be no.
Thank you, Senator Judge Cayetano. Alan. Witness will please answer.
Yes, Your Honor. Kaya ko nga po ikinikwento yung buong pangyayari para po makita kung paano po kami dumating dun sa punto na ginamit po doon sa pattern of violence yung pong affidavit na ito.
So, liwanagin ko po Director Matibag.
Opo.
Hindi nyo agad pinaniwalaan nung simula, pinadaan nyo rin sa inyong SOP sa investigasyon, kalaunan, pinaniwalaan na ninyo at sa ngayon, pinapaniwalaan po ninyo yung nakasaad dun sa dokumentong yun.
Kalaunan po, ito ay ginamit na namin na isa sa basehan po doon sa pattern of violence pagkatapos po namin idaan sa proseso po.
So pinaniwalaan nyo na, pinanghawakan nyo na, kumbaga.
Sa ngayon po, tama po, Your Honor.
Okay.
And pinapaniwalaan yun without issuing a subpoena to Las Cañas and clarifying the matter with him.
Ask and answered, Your Honor.
It's a different question, Your Honor. We're already at this point.
Witness may answer.
Pakiulit po.
So, you mentioned na pinapaniwalaan nyo na siya ngayon as clarified by the chair. So, are you saying that pinapaliwanaan nyo na ngayon without issuing a subpoena to Las Cañas and verifying it with him?
Hindi po nag-issue ng subpoena kay Las Cañas, pero meron pong naging verification process.
All right. But not with Las Cañas, who is the author of that document.
As and answered po, Your Honor.
The presiding officer would like to remind the witness to kindly avoid making a ruling for and behalf of the presiding officer.
Pasensya na po, Your Honor.
But the gentleman would have been correct. The presiding officer would have said the same thing. Thank you for saving me the trouble. But try to avoid that, Director Matibag.
Sorry po, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Counsel
you.
may proceed.
All right. Director Matibag, yesterday I identified 2 videos and you related it with the alleged pattern of behavior of VP Sara, correct? The first video that you showed, I think, involved the sheriff.
Tama po.
All right. But that incident, will you confirm that that incident took place on July 1, 2011?
Yes, long time ago po.
So around 15 years ago.
Tama po.
And did you still find it relevant to use that video?
Under po dun sa 5 factors namin, ang tinitingnan po natin sa pattern of violence is the historical behavior.
All right.
Kasama po yun.
With the permission of counsel for respondent, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Ontiveros?
If I may, Mr. Presiding Officer, before the defense moves on to a next question, just to ask a follow-up question of the previous topic.
On this matter?
On the matter of the Las Cañas affidavit, Mr.
The
Presiding
lady
Officer.
may proceed with that question on Las Cañas only.
Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer. Follow-up question, Mr. Witness. According to your testimony yesterday, you reviewed Arturo Las Cañas' affidavit as part of the larger investigation concerning the Vice President's capacity to carry out the alleged threat. Sa pagkakaalam po ninyo, Director, at batay din sa larger investigation na iyon, sinagot po ba ng Vice Presidente sa anumang paraan yung mga alegasyon sa affidavit na yon ni Las Cañas?
Your Honor, marami po kasi kaming, yun nga po yung gusto kong ipaliwanag, marami po kasi kaming mga i-consider na tinatawag natin po na open source intel. Yan na po yung mga news, mga report. At nung tinitingnan po namin yan, si Arturo Las Cañas, meron pa po siyang lumabas na balita noon nung isinumite niya itong affidavit na to sa ICC. At maalala ko po, meron din po lumabas sa balita na mismong si Vice President Sara Duterte, parang sinasabi po niya roon na hindi ko kailangan ng DDS para gumawa ng kayang gawin ng DDS. Something to that effect po. Na-consider po namin lahat po yan.
Sa sinabi di umano ni Vice President, sinabi niya hindi niya kailangan ang DDS para gawin ang
Yung kayang gawin ng DDS. Something
ng
like that po.
DDS.
Opo. Hindi ko po eksaktong ma-recall yung phrase na pagkakasabi po.
Salamat, Mr. Witness. I may return to that point later.
The lady
today,
may do
Mr.
so after
Presiding Officer.
the
Salamat po.
cross, redirect, and recross. When she avails for time, counsel for respondent may proceed.
All right, let's go back to the sheriff incident. I'm glad you mentioned history or historical background. Are you aware that that sheriff incident pertains to relief operations that were being conducted by the Vice President, then Mayor at that time, or Vice Mayor.
Ang pagkakaalam ko po doon sa balita na yun, itong sheriff na to is trying to enforce a valid order from a legitimate court, demolition order po ito, na ayaw ipatuloy po ng then Mayor and now Vice President. So,
Alright.
I might not be aware of a relief operation, baka po paliwanag po sa akin.
Are you aware? I'll just ask you if you're aware. Are you aware that it involved a flash flood? This incident happened after a flash flood in that particular community.
Hindi po lumabas siya
If
sa
you know,
balita.
if you know, all right.
I have no knowledge of that.
Are you aware that VP Sara asked that sheriff for an extension of 2 hours just to help the victims?
Yung po yung lumabas sa
All
balita.
right. And this sheriff and the demolition that you mentioned involved the demolition of informal settlers in that area.
Opo, kaya po may order of eviction. Ibig sabihin po, informal settlers po yung
Are you
papalis.
aware that 30 people died during that incident?
I have no knowledge of that, Your Honor.
So in other words, are you also aware that it was the sheriff's refusal to provide the 2-hour extension? That's why VP Sara got
Well,
angry.
that is the claim of the then mayor.
If you know only, if you know.
I have no
You
knowledge
have
of
no
that. Your
knowledge. All right. I'll move on to a new point. Now, you also mentioned to establish this alleged pattern of behavior, the October 18, 2024 press con, correct?
Tama po.
And this press con took place obviously before the material that you used, or the November 23, 2024 press con.
Tama po.
All right. I'm showing you a video. Your Honor will just show one video. It's around 1 minute. This is Exhibit D-4-53, and the USB is separately marked as D-4-47. And then I'll ask you questions after that.
Kindly play the video. The tech through the clerk of court is so directed.
Inulit ng bata, louder this time. Mr. President, can I have your watch as a graduation gift? Nasagot niya. Why? Why will I give you my watch? At that point, may sakit na ako. Wasn't feeling very well. Nandun lang ako, nakakatayo ako dun kasi nagkamot ako. Gusto ko, ang galing yung ulo niya ba? I realized toxic na yung relationship. And it did not help na itong dalawang katabi ko, tumawa pa. Pinagtawanan pa nila yung bata. And I saw the humiliation sa face ng bata. I wanted to help him. Gusto ko sabihin sa kanya, itong relo ko na lang, relo ito ng Vice President, ito relo ng Presidente, pero I hope this will do. And then I realized na baka mas lalong mapahiya yung bata if I do that. So I just imagined myself cutting his head. Gusto ko ganun din ang
All right. So is this the First of all, did you watch this whole video, Director Matigo?
I've watched not the entirety of the video.
Not the entirety,
Yeah.
because it's a long video. It's
That's correct.
almost 2 hours. But my question to you is this: is this the video where you based your finding that VP Sara said, gusto kong tanggalin ang ulo niya, imagine cutting his head off? Is this the one?
Yun po.
Alright.
Yun po yung video na yan.
And will you agree with, wasn't this press con heard by the general public?
Opo.
And didn't VP Sara say her statements in jest?
Well,
It's speculative, Your Honor.
Honor, the witness is smart enough and competent enough to answer.
Nevertheless, Your Honor.
Witness may answer.
well, again, I will say I cannot go into the state of mind of the Vice President, and precisely the reason why doon sa pattern of violence, kasama po talaga yan yung pag i-consider natin. I understand her disgust doon sa nangyari, but probably pag pinagsama-sama po yung aming pong investigasyon, mga aming napanood, kasama po yan, doon po namin na-establish yung isa doon sa 5 factors na pattern of
Yeah,
violence.
I understand what you're saying, but my question to you is, didn't you take VP Sara's statement out of context?
Mahirap po para sa aming law enforcement na yung ganyang mga statement ay amin pong babaliwalayin. Katunayan, alam naman po natin kahit nga biro, halimbawa po, yung bomb joke nga po sa aeroplano, hinuhuli natin. It's a different thing if you're doing a bomb joke dyan sa aeroplano tsaka sa open field na kayo lang. So,
Alright.
sa amin po sa law enforcement, we have to give credence to that and i-process po namin.
So at any rate, you consider this portion of VP Sara's statement to be grave and serious, to be a grave and serious threat based on the standards that you mentioned yesterday?
Hindi po yun ang sinabi ko. Ang sinabi ko po, kasama siya doon sa i-consider na marami pong factors para ma-establish po ang pattern of violence.
Isn't that kind of a stretch?
It's argumentative, Your Honor.
Argumentative, move on, counsel.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Salamat po, sir.
Redirect, lead prosecutor. Any redirect?
Your Honor, may I request for a 5-minute break?
Instead of granting the break, Chair will open the floor for the interjections and interventions of some of the senator judges. You have your 5 minutes, counsel. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, thereafter Senator Judge Lacson, thereafter Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, and hopefully Senator Judges Villanueva and Pangilinan. That might be in excess of 5 minutes already. We will just
Your Honor.
we're making the most out of the 5 minutes. Yes, counsel. For this
Just one manifestation, Your Honor,
Yes, counsel.
regarding the interpellation of the good Senator Ontiveros. We just want to step for the record, Your Honor, that insofar as the Las Cañas affidavit, the Vice President was never given an opportunity to respond to it
Formally.
formally.
Noted, Senator
And-
Judge. Yes, counsel. Counsel for the respondent. Anything additional?
And the VP was also not made to answer to the what was it? And it was not part of the impeachment complaint, Your Honor. For the record.
Noted. Noted, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Sa ating pong testigo, kahapon po nabanggit ho ninyo na meron na po kayong persons of interest na umano'y kinausap na po ng VP Vice President Sara Duterte para patayin umano ang Pangulo, First Lady at former Speaker of the House. Ang tanong ko po, paano pala ho ninyo ito natalisod o natunto ng impormasyong ito? Gayong sa kanya pong press con, wala naman pong siyang sinabi kung sino mga taong ito. Sinabi niya lang na may kinausap na ho siya. How did you find out?
Ganito po yan, sa lahat naman po ng kaso na hinahawakan po ng National Bureau of Investigation para po maging successful yung aming pag-iimbestiga, ay nagre-rely po kami sa iba't ibang intelligence report. Yun nga po, may tinatag tayong open source intel, human intelligence, and we also use tools to monitor things. At nag-trim down po tayo niyan, tinitingnan po natin hanggang dumating tayo dun sa punto na mayroon pong resolusyon yung ating pong kasong tinitingnan. With regards to po sa persons of interest, yung prosesong din yan po ang atin pong sinundan.
Okay. Without mentioning po kung sino itong mga tao na ito or yung pagkakilala nila, kung nasaan sila, maaari po ba ninyong bigyan kami ng ideya itong mga persons of interest na ito? Kung ano po talaga ang trabaho nila, kung sila po ba talaga yung mga hitman o mga gun for hire o riding in tandem, ano ho ang klaseng trabaho meron itong mga ito?
Well, siguro po ganito, although I cannot reveal so much and the identity, but going to the process na sinasabi ko nga po, so we're using informants. May mga sinusundan po tayo. Ang una-una ating pong tinignan dyan, yun nga pong sinabi na kumausap ng papatay at yung pong papatay ay pumayag na. So, ano pong ginawa natin dito? Tiningnan na natin kung sang spear po papasok. Sino ba yung pwede? Saan ba pwedeng nanggaling yon? Hindi kagad sino. Saan po ba pwedeng nanggaling yon? At lumalabas po rito, alam natin yung kasaysayan, malawak po ang kanyang tinatawag na connection, yung network po. Alam naman natin na siya ay vice presidente at ang dating Pangulo ay kanyang ama. Ibig sabihin, nakadevelop po ito ng mga relasyon. Unang-una na sa mga men in uniform na hanggang sa ngayon, marami po rito na na-appoint pa niya nung panahon na sila ay nandiyan. Nandiyan din po, binanggit ko yung Vice President Sara sa security group at yung pong mga double death squad. So tiningnan po natin at tiningnan by process of elimination yung mga tao po na maaaring dun nang galing or maaaring nakakaalam. And by process of elimination, nag-start po kami maraming individuals hanggang sa matrim down po namin ng matrim down hanggang sa ngayon. Kaya sinabi ko po kahapon sa kagalang-galang sa katanungan ng ating Senate President po, gaano ba katagal pa to? And I said, we have great progress. Dahil lang simula po kami sa marami ngayon na trim down na po namin sa iilan na personalidad po.
Okay, pangalawa sa huling katanungan ko po, Ginoong Testigo, ay ito pong threat na ito po hanggang ngayon ay continuing threat po ito or pwedeng i-execute anytime ng mga sinasabi ninyong persons of interest?
Yun na po yung atin pong pangamba na nakikita. Because hindi po natin nakukuha. Sigurado po tayo na may kinausap at pumayag, subalit yung pagkakakilanlan ng taong kinausap ay hindi pa rin po natin nakukuha. So ibig sabihin po, yung threat po na ito sa Pangulo is a continuing and active threat po and serious. So yun po yung gusto nating i-address dito.
Panguling katanungan na lamang, Mr. Witness, naimporma na po ba ang Pangulo at ang kanyang PSG para alam ho nila ang kanilang gagawin at hindi po sila malingat sa kanilang seguridad?
Meron po kaming tuloy-tuloy na pakikipag-ugnayan sa ating sa palasyo po. I will not mention who exactly yung mga kausap po namin doon, but there's always continuing threat assessment po na ginagawa po kami.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Presiding Officer, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. Senator Judge Lacson. Thereafter, we will recognize first, with the indulgence of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, the lead prosecutor for her manifestation. As I understand, she asked for time for a huddle to determine whether she will still conduct redirect. So, Senator Judge Lacson is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Follow-up lang ito doon sa mga points raised by Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo kahapon relating to 3 similar cases. Ronald Mas, Mayor Baste Duterte, saka BP Sara. Hindi ko na bibelabor yung Ronald Mas and Mayor Baste kasi aware naman ako doon sa Rule 113 Section 5, yung sa warrantless arrest, na hindi pwedeng apply. Nagkamali nga yung NBI kay Ronald Mas kaya na-dismiss yung case, di po ba? But I'm more interested in the cases of Mayor Baste at saka kay BP Sara. Kasi almost similar yung kanilang mga sinabi, pero I'm just wondering why you did not investigate Mayor Baste, pero si Mayor Sara, hindi lang kayo nag-investigate, nag-repair pa kayo ng complaint sa DOJ, hindi po ba?
Yun po yung amin pong ginawang investigasyon ay doon na po sa threat na sinasabi namin na pangkalawakan. Yung dito po kay Mayor Baste, kaya hindi po natin na inimbestigahan, isinasama po namin dito sa task force na ito to come out with the report eventually, but we have coordination also po with other agencies.
Yes. So walang ongoing law enforcement investigation against Mayor Baste?
Kasama po dito sa ano po namin sa special task force po.
Yung bang special task force, and this was this was also raised by the presiding officer nung nasa lounge kami kanina, na-form ba ito in relation to or in reference to the case of Mayor Baste o kay Vice President Sara?
Yung pong trigger point na nangyari dito ay yung pong kay Mayor Baste po. But prior to that, we are continually monitoring the threat. Kasama po sa aming pag-uusap yan. In fact, yung pong aming reporting ng records as early as nung nag-assume po ako ng February, mga first week pa lang po ng March, kasama na po sa reporting yung mga threat assessment. But nung napansin po namin na itong rage rally na to can escalate to a bigger threat to the national security, dun po namin ipinasok ito.
So mas ang ginamit nyo yung kay Mayor Baste as an open source kesa sa mag-file kayo ng criminal complaint against Mayor Baste.
Ganun po yung naging process namin dito. But eventually, we have an agreement within us that if we can establish that the elements for grave threat will be there, we will be contemplating also on filing a grave threat and inciting to sedition as well.
Pero halos pareho eh. Kaya iniisip ko, baka meron double standard. Bakit kayo nag-focus kay Vice President pero hindi nyo in-apply kay Mayor Baste? Eh halos pareho sinabi nila eh, na maliwanag naman, bukod doon sa January 2026, na ulit pa ng April 12, di ba? Na sinabing Romanov, threat against the first family, nasundan pa ng pupugot, ang kailangan lang namin yung ulo. So pero kay Vice President, halos ganun din eh. Pero bakit inimbestigahan nyo kay Vice President Sara at na-refer nyo na sa DOJ for PI, pero yung kay Mayor Baste parang unlevel, nasa law enforcement investigation pa rin.
Sapagkat ang isa po dinedevelop namin dito na jury po is yung sabwatan. And alam po natin, if we go to court using the theory of conspiracy, medyo mas mahirap po na ipasok na kaso. Kaya it taking much time to develop the case po.
May request for additional time, Mr. Presiding Officer. Punta lang ko kay Las Cañas.
Opo.
Okay. Yung kay Las Cañas, ginamit nyo yung kanyang affidavit na sinabit sa ICC.
Tama po.
Parang pang-open source.
Tama
Not for
po, sir.
anything, di ba?
Not for anything po.
So
yes,
walang
sir.
evidentiary value ito.
Yun po ay ang basehan namin, kaya po namin iprinisinta. Isa po sa naging basehan namin dun po sa, isa nga dun sa 5 standards po natin na pattern of violence po.
Pero wala kayong intention na kung magpapile kayo ng kaso, isasubmit yung affidavit niya na sinabit sa ICC.
As a matter of preference lang po for the purposes of establishing the pattern of violence. But to directly papanagutin po sa isang crimen or what, sa palagay ko po baka po hindi ito tatanggapin ng korte po.
Yeah, kasi kung open source, hindi nga tatanggapin ng korte.
Tama po.
Kasi kung open source, kung nag-extend pa kayo, in-expand nyo yung open source information gathering, dapat sana nireview nyo rin yung aming committee hearing dito. No? Yung na-mention kanina ng defense, na initially, deny talaga si Arturo Las Cañas tungkol sa DDS, EJK, etc. Eventually, nag-retract siya talagang 180 degrees. No? Sinabi niya, totoo yung EJK. Hindi ba dapat part din nyo ng open source information gathering ninyo?
Tama po. Actually, nung binasa po namin yung affidavit, may isang paragraph doon na nagtukoy nga dyan na nag-testify as binawi. Ang sinundan na po namin dito, at naalala ko po, meron kasing new report do sa 24 oras after ng pre-trial po sa ICC, nagkaroon po ng interview kay Las Cañas kung saan sinasabi niya yung affidavit na ginawa niya na isinabit sa ICC at nung kinukumpara po namin doon sa sinasabi niya, lumalabas na yun po.
Pangatlo na po yon.
So,
Alam nyo, iba yung affidavit niya, yung kanyang testimony sa Public Order and Legal Drugs Committee, which as I said earlier, I chaired. No? Kaya alam ko yung familiar ako. Then after that, nag-retract siya. Talagang complete turnaround.
Tama po.
So I even consulted a retired justice na kaibigan ko. Ano bang mas patimbang dito? Ang sabi niya, ang talagang jurisprudence, yung original na statement, ang mananaig, kesa doon sa parang binaligtad na statement. Which I also agreed. Ang point ko lang is, bakit parang namili lang kayo ng open source?
Tiningnan po
Kung
namin.
tinignan nyo yung sa ICC na sabit na pagkahaba-haba, sa akin nga po sinabi kanina, pangatlo na po yung magkaibang affidavits ni Arturo Las Cañas. May nauna, may pangalawa, pangatlo na po itong pinapakita sa screen kahapon.
Tama po. And we are also aware dun sa pagbalibaligtad. But on the news that I was mentioning po, Your Honor, mismong sinabi niya, pipirmahan yung affidavit at sinabi po niya, this is 186 pages. So nang tinitingnan po namin, yung statement na yan, tumugma. At pangalawa, it's been the subject already of an ICC. It's being used as an evidence. At least there is a legitimate court that looking into it, which it was considered na ibig sabihin, tinanggap po ng isang lehitimo na korte po.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to be fair, ano?
Opo.
Kasi gusto ko talagang maliwanagan para pagdating ng takdang oras, alam ko yung aking boto.
Tama
Maraming
po.
salamat po.
Salamat
Thank you,
po.
Senator Judge Lacson. Before the chair recognizes Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, Senator Judge Aquino, and Senator Judge Padilla, chair will not. Sorry, I forgot about you, Senator Judge Pangilinan. Before Senator Judge Bam. Chair would like to call on the lead prosecutor again. Thank you for the sequence.
Thank you, Your
Yes. What is the pleasure of the lead prosecutor? Shall you conduct redirect?
Your Honor, the prosecution believes that we have sufficiently established that the threat to the President constitutes
Objection, Your Honor.
threat to the national
Again, Your
security.
Honor, inconsistent.
Counsel, you are once again reminded to kindly avoid
Yes, Your Honor.
conclusions of law. The question was simple, so I guess you will not conduct any further redirect.
Nonetheless, Your Honor, there are some manifestations that I would like to make.
As long as these are not conclusions of fact and law, Counsel, as you
Yes,
have
Your
been reminded and guided accordingly. You may proceed.
It is the position, Your Honor, of the prosecution that we have established already.
Objection, Your Honor. Again, this is a conclusion of fact and law, Your Honor.
Counsel, the counsel for respondent is correct. I will give the same limitation to whatever manifestations he will make in this regard. Let me do it for you. I guess you're not conducting any redirect anymore because you're
I have another
satisfied
manifestation, Your Honor.
and you're contented with the witness given, with the testimony rather given by the witness you presented. What is your second manifestation?
Nais
Mr.
ko
Prosecutor?
lamang pong liwanagin, Your Honor, kaugnay ng affidavit ni Arturo Las Cañas. Ito po ay ipresenta ng prosecution bilang bahagi ng testimonya ng witness, kagaya na po ng sinabi ng presiding officer ng 3 ulit, pinayagang ipresenta ang affidavit ni Las Cañas bilang bahagi ng testimonya at bilang bahagi ng naging investigation ng Special Task Force ng National Bureau of Investigation. It was never claimed by the prosecution that this affidavit is notarized. Kailanman po ay hindi sinabi ng prosecution na notarized ang dokumentong ito. Ito po'y ipresenta bilang bahagi lamang ng testimonya ng witness at bilang bahagi din ng investigation ng NBI. To conclude, Your Honor.
Short rejoinder on that, Your Honor.
The lead prosecutor is not yet finished.
To conclude, Your Honor, the prosecution finds it unnecessary.
Objection, Your Honor. Same ground.
Allow the lead prosecutor to finish.
The prosecution finds it unnecessary to conduct redirect examination.
Thank you, counsel. Duly noted. Do
Just
you
a
still
short-
want a rejoinder?
Just a
counsel,
short
for
rejoinder on the Las Cañas
Yes,
issue.
counsel.
Again, Your Honor, according to the rules, an affidavit must be testified to and identified by the person or the author of that affidavit. And in this case, such was not done. So, and an additional manifestation, Your Honor, that considering that it is unsigned and unnotarized, the law considers it as a mere scrap of paper. That's just a manifestation. And
Then let instead of letting this be an ongoing argument between both counsels, let the chair state.
Your
for
Honor,
the-
may I just correct the manifestation
No
of the
need, counsel.
defense?
Let the chair state for the 4th time. The affidavit of Las Cañas was not offered as an authentic document executed by the affiant. Only that it was part of the documents used by Director Matibag in his open source investigation, as also clarified for the 5th time, if I will count it, by Senator Judge Lacson, that it was only part of the investigation of the NBI through what is called an open source investigation. Again, to reiterate, not as proof that of its authenticity and the truth of the contents contained in the affidavit or document purporting to be executed by Las Cañas.
And that it is signed, Your Honor.
Let that be the end of it, counsels, if you may. And we can proceed to the interventions and interjections of senator judges. Forgive my inadvertence earlier. Chair will recognize in this order, in the order that they indicated to the chair, as pointed out by the clerk of court, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, Senator Judge Villanueva, Senator Judge Pangilinan, Senator Judge Aquino, and Senator Judge Padilla as of now. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo is recognized for his interventions. You may proceed, sir, when you are ready. You have 2 minutes.
Mr. Witness, kahapon naitanong ko sa inyo yung kaso ni Ronel Mas. Ngayon, tatanong ko sa inyo, familiar ho ba kayo sa kaso ni Ronald Kibuyen, Maria Catherine Seron, and Joe Mark Ebcay?
Narinig ko po sila.
Ano po yung pagkakarinig mo sa kaso?
Sila po ay inaresto ng PNP, CIDG. Yung isa po sa, I think it's an Osamis dahil meron siyang nagsabi na patayin si dating Pangulong Duterte at nag-offer ng 100 million na reward. Yung naman pong ubayan sa Boracay ata, na may offer din, I'm not mistaken, 150 million po yata na reward.
So, itong tatlo po, sa pagkakalam niyo, ano mga trabaho nito?
Yung isa po, construction worker, hindi ko po maalala yung isang tao.
Yung isa ay unemployed college graduate.
Ayun.
So, the reason why I asked that, kasi tulad ni Ronel Mas, isang teacher, at itong tatlo, mga ordinary mamayan,
Opo.
i-compare natin dun sa ginawa ni VP Sara at saka ni Mayor Baste sa ating Pangulo, pagbabanta, almost the same yung nangyari. So, kamay na bakal ang pinairal. Kapag mga ordinaryong mahirap na mamayan, ang pinapairal ninyo dyan sa law enforcement. Pero kapag makapangyari ang mga tao, you treat them with kids' gloves. Why is that?
Respectfully po, Your Honor, unang-una, I cannot speak to the behavior of the law enforcement at that time. But I agree with you na yung pag-aresto po sa kanila is warrantless arrest. That's the reason why na-dismiss po lahat ng kaso na yon. Yung sa ngayon naman po, yung mga pangyayari na ito, we go to the case build up and file a case katulad po nung nangyari kay Vice Presidente, meron pong nakapending ngayon na kaso. At kung ito po ay may file sa korte, that is the time that the court will issue a warrant of arrest. So meron po tayong prosesong sinusunod po.
Mali nga yung pagka-aresto, actually, warrantless arrest yung nangyari noon. Pero meron bang nag-utos why it was done by the law enforcement people at that time? And what's the difference between the law enforcement back then and the law enforcement people now?
Well, I can only speak po for my bureau na NBI. We are making sure that we are following the process and the law. In any case, wala pong malaki o maliit na kaso. Ang tinitingnan po lagi natin dito ay ang ebidensya, ang batas at ang prosesong dapat pong sundin.
Okay. I'll give you an example. Halimbawa, yung nangyari ngayon na pagbabanta sa ating Pangulo, nangyari noon sa panahon ni Pangulong Duterte at nagbanta si Leni Robredo. Halimbawa lang, of course, Leni Robredo would not do that kasi I know, wala sa karakter niya. Nagbanta si Leni Robredo kay Pangulong Duterte at matindi yung outburst niya at pagbabanta. At ganun din naggagawa ng follow-up ang kanyang anak. What would have happened? Sa tingin niyo ba, possible na merong gagawang pag-aresto si PRD tulad ng ginawang pag-aresto dun sa mga teachers, sa teacher, construction worker, at unemployed college graduate?
Well, respectfully, it's calling for an opinion but siguro meron po akong pwedeng pagbasihan. Base na rin po sa inyong sinasabi na construction worker, teacher, ay inaresto dahil sa banta. Posible po. May possibility na baka arestuhin po kaagad ang Vice Presidente noon.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Villanueva may proceed with his interjection when he's ready. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just two quick questions to our dear witness. Your Honor, malaking bahagi po, Director Matibag, nung sa talakayan dito sa korte at ng buong sambayanan, whether or not natukoy na ba yung sinasabing alleged tinutukoy ng pangalawang Pangulo doon po sa kanyang video. At binanggit niyo po na may inaasahan po kayong development sa loob ng 3 hanggang 6 na buwan. Maaari po ba niyong paliwanag, Director, sa pangkalahatan lamang po kung ano po yung layunin ng mga natitira pang bahagi sa investigasyon po ninyo? Just to clarify lang po, no? Kasi when you testified that the individual's identity will become clearer, does it mean, sir, that the Bureau is now focused on confirming or verifying the identity of a particular individual referred to by the respondent rather than determining whether such person exists in the first place. Kumbaga po, yung tanong lamang po dito, sinasagot po ay sino na yung kinontrata rather than hindi po yung meron nga bang kinontrata.
Your Honor, dalawang bagay po para makarating po tayo dun sa kasagutan sa inyo pong katanungan. Una, sinabi ko nga po with certainty, meron kinontrata. Ano po yung basihan? Mismo ang Vice Presidente na publicly, it is an extrajudicial admission na tinanggap na niya at sinabi na niya na meron akong kinausap na mag-assassin o mamamatay tao para patayin ang presidente at siya ay pumayag. So that is an admission na meron po. Pangalawa, bakit po natin tinutukoy at tinahanap? Dito na po pumapasok yung kailangan natin siyang makuha, hindi upang sabihin na kami talaga ay nag-usap ni Vice Presidente. Kasi yun naman pong sinasabi ko nga, yung pag-uusap na may papatay at hindi naman nagawa, wala naman po tayong pinag-uusapan na krimen doon. Pero ano po ba ang tinutugunan namin sa paghahanap namin sa tao na yon, sa individual na yon? Yun na po yung sinasabi namin that we have to address the issue of national security, the safety of the President, which is a primary mandate of the National Bureau of Investigation. So pagkatambanta po sa Pangulo, kapag ito ay seryoso tulad po nitong banta na ito, ito rin po ay magdadaos ng ligalig, kaguluhan, at disrespect po sa ating law and order. And that is the very purpose of the existence of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Yung binanggit nyo na may mga persons of interest, so yun nga po, no? Tinutumbok na po nito na nandun na po kayo dun sa sino ang kinontrata rather than meron nga bang kinontrata.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Director Matibag. Nabanggit niyo po kahapon din yung parte ng network ng respondent na tinatawag na Davao Death Squad. Batay po ito dun sa ebidensyang nakalap po ninyo, sabi niyo sa NBI, at meron po kayong nakikitang impormasyon na nagsasabi gusto kong malaman kung meron po kayong nakikitang impormasyon na nagsasabi na aktibo pa rin po ba ito noong 2024 kaya naging part ito ng inyong assessment sa kapasidad ng respondent?
Sa amin po investigasyon lumalabas na meron pa pong mga existing. At katunayan, without naming names, ganito po, ilagay na natin sa konteksto na nagsimula po kami sa maraming pangalan and we narrowed it down. Siguro ito na inaantay ng marami rin na finally ma-identify natin. We are narrowing it down already to less than 20 individuals at may mga pangalan na po kami nito. Sa katunayan po, yung iba po rito, kausap na po namin yung kanilang mga pamilya o kakilala. So, ganun po yung proseso. That's why sinabi ko, baka in 3 to 6 months, we can finally identify kung sino yung personalidad na yun po.
Let me wind up, Mr. Presiding Officer. No, in relation again to the Davao Death Squad that we were talking about, aktibo pa po ba sila noong 204? Aktibo pa rin po ba sila sa kasalukuyan sa inyong nagpapatuloy na investigasyon? Tinatanong po natin ito, Ginoong Pangulo, para malaman natin kung yung ginamit po ng National Bureau of Investigation ay base lamang dun sa historical background na binabanggit po kahapon o meron po na nakalap na mga bagong impormasyon ang NBI na hiwalay na impormasyon tungkol po dito.
Well, again, kanina po tinanong po ng kagalang-galang Senator Erwin Tulfo, we are not limiting it to the Davao Death Squad. Sabi ko nga po, meron pong mga aktibo pa sa serbisyo na men in uniforms at kasama rin po dito ang Vice President Sara Security Group po.
So even those who are actively involved right now, men in uniform, is that what you're saying?
That is something that I can say because general naman, it will not
Kindly
go to
wind
the
up.
identity.
Yeah, that will be
meron
all,
po.
Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Director
Salamat
Matibag.
po.
Salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Aquino is recognized. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready. You have 2 minutes.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Isang tanong lang po kay Director Matibag. Doon po sa AO11, nakalagay po doon yung mga miyembro ng task force, no? At yung isang miyembro po doon ay mula sa Transnational Crime Division.
Opo.
Nabanggit niyo po nung isang araw na nasa punto na po kayo sa inyong investigasyon na chine-check po ninyo kung hindi lang ito isang tao pero kumbaga grupo na po ito or may plot, may ploy, may nagkukuntsaba para dito po sa posibleng pagpatay kay President Marcos. So nagtataka lang po ako sa EO11 kasama yung Transnational Crime Division. So my question is, sa inyo pong investigasyon, meron bang transnational nature itong posibleng pagpatay sa presidente? Meron bang foreign intervention or mga players na hindi po Pilipino sa inyo pong investigasyon?
Yan po ay isang sa purpose talaga kung bakit namin isinama para alamin kung sino po. Alam naman po natin, para patayin ng isang presidente, hindi po isa o dalawang tao lang nag-uusap dito. You need yung kakayahan mo, yung capacity doon po pumapasok. Kailangan ng pera, kailangan ng network, kailangan ng tao. So tinitingnan po natin ito lahat. Ngayon yung binabanggit po ninyo, kasama po sa ating tinitingnan yan. Pero ang isa pong mayoryang rason yan, yung pong mga pagbabiyahe ng ating Pangulo, we have to also monitor it because the possibility of endangering the life of the President during his time that is outside of the country, nandoon din po yan dahil sa threat.
So kaklaruhin ko lang ha. So yung pagkakaroon ng Transnational Crime Division dahil yan sa mga biyahe ng presidente, hindi dahil merong possible foreign intervention dito sa iniimbestigahan yung pagpaplano.
That is also an angle being considered but that's not the main reason po.
Alright, salamat.
Salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Judge Aquino. Senator